It's time to go.
En, två, tre, fyra, fem, sex, sju.
We're here!
It's just unbelievable. We did it! We're here! We have returned to Iceland, this magical country. Woo! I'm really excited to tell you about this project that my colleagues and I have been working on. It's called Kvöldvaka, and it is a magical take it to nature augmented reality experience. Kvöldvaka is inspired by Icelandic folklore. You go on this journey, you go out into the park, into nature, into the forest with your phone, and you start the experience, and you go on this journey where you meet a mischievous member of the Huldufólk, or the hidden people who live all around you in nature. And if you listen, they'll help you discover a hidden dimension all around in nature and a relationship that has been lost. And if you're worthy, you'll see it. We're here at a startup decelerator to continue to workshop and work deeper on our Kvöldvaka project. Then we're going to be making holograms and recording audio, nature audio, all around the country. We'll be meeting with our seer and co-producer, our writer, Raka, who can see and communicate with the Huldufólk. You can't help but just take in this energy, this frequency even, that's just always humming to like the tune of your body. It really does feel like that. We've lied down in the grass multiple times. The mountains say, yow, 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 yow. Yow, yow. How else do you say yow? Yow.
Yow, 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 yow.
Yow.
Oh, yow, yow,
Yow, yow, yow, yow, mother.
yow, yow.
This is summertime in northwest Iceland. I'm wearing my winter jacket.
It's the mushroom book. Sveppa handboken.
Yeah, wow. And I can show you like where the poisonous ones are.
So I want to not get the poisonous ones.
Yeah. How would you say?
Is yours poisonous?
Cantarella.
Probably.
Yellow.
Should we not be touching it?
No, I think touching is alright.
This one here.
Oh, yeah.
And it has like stripes.
Grein.
And it has like green.
Yo.
And it has 3 stars. It means it's really good.
Oh, grein.
Nefla.
Nefla.
Nefla. Yeah.
Nefla. How do you say that? Do you say that, H?
Grein Nefla.
Grein Nefla. Nefla.
And green grind.
Oh, it's big.
That one looked good.
Oh, that is a juicy one.
That actually looks nice. That one looks tasty. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
so
he
poisonous.
is like so pensioners, and he can like get it like that. You will ruin your like cells in your body. Like,
It changes your DNA and you're never the same.
yeah, and like some mushrooms can get you paralyzed.
Look at this. You just casually get out of your car, and it's just a giant mountain. Ha! And there's our guy, Gunnar. We are in Bolungarvík, another town in the West Fjords. Hologram in a box.
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
Here we go. We want to we have to be able to see his feet.
We would like to welcome you here to tell you a little bit about our story, our heritage, and how Bolungarvík and the Westerns came to be.
So my team and I are here. We're at the volcano Geldingardalir. This eruption has been going on since March of this year. We feel really lucky that the Huldufólk are with us, that we got to be here right at a time where the weather is good and the volcanic activity is high. And this is where I want to tell you about the tradition of Kvöldvaka or Kvöldvökur, which means night wakings in Icelandic. Kvöldvökur, or night wakings, were these traditions that the Icelanders had throughout all the centuries of their existence. Because it's a really harsh landscape. You have fire, you have ice, you have explosions, you have bubbles, you have cave-ins. It's not unfathomable for people just to disappear, things to just inexplicably happen. And folklore developed around that to explain these supernatural events. And Kvöldvökur were the times when the Icelandic families would retreat from a long day at work outside into their turf homes. And they would spend the night listening to stories from a local storyteller. They'd be traveling around from village to village, spinning these tales from other villages, from other parts of the country. You know, they would tell these tales of legend and landscape and this relationship to the nature around them, to make sense of their environment and to be in harmony with it. And that's the inspiration for why we call our project Kvöldvaka, because we want you to go on a night waking, to have your eyes opened and to see the nature around you literally with a new lens. One of the pieces of folklore from these Kvöldvaka traditions is the Huldufólk. And the Huldufólk, which translates to hidden people, live all around you in nature. They are often characterized as elves, but that's not actually a really good translation. They are beings. They live in the rocks, they live in the fields, they live all around you. They are part of a hidden dimension that is always present, but you don't always see it. And only if you connect with nature and proverbially open that third eye, the Huldufólk will welcome you into their dimension. So we really enjoy this idea of the Huldufólk and this hidden dimension that's all around you in a living landscape. Literally right behind me, the earth is breathing, it is alive, its insides are coming out to replenish the outer crust and seep back into the soil. It's a really inspirational thing to see this, and that's why I wanted to tell you about Kvöldvökur and the Huldufólk right here.
Sjávarflóð sumar langa tíð renna á mitt hallargólf liljan fríð fagurt syngur svanurinn í sóleyjar hlíð Nú hef ég sagt þér drauminn minn sumarlanga tíð. Rátan eftir vilja þinn, minn liljan frið, fagurt syngur svanurinn í sólegar hlíð.
Iceland is a living landscape, but really anywhere is a living landscape. Behind me is Jökulsárlón, the glacier lagoon, an impressive piece of nature changing right before our eyes. And we want to have that lens as part of the Kvöldvaka experience, that there's this living dimension all around us in nature. The Huldufólk folk belief is quite unique because it embeds that living nature all around you as this hidden dimension. Huldufólk, unfortunately, are caricatured as elves with pointy hats and pointy shoes dancing around. And that's not quite right. It's both a poor translation and not genuine to the folk belief. So this is why we are representing the Huldufólk in the Kvöldvaka experiences as holograms. Firstly, they're styled based off of the Nordic lights. We've taken a lot of inspiration from the magical show that happens in the night winter skies here, taking the color palette from that, as well as the science of the Nordic lights. When solar radiation, solar winds come from the sun and collide with our atmosphere, that's what creates the Nordic lights. Electrons in the solar winds go from a high energy state to a low energy state, emitting that beautiful light that we see. And we're able to do this through volumetric video or volumetric capture. We take multiple sensors capturing video and depth data.
Hi.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Face your chest towards me a little bit more. I want to see more of that. And we have this particle effect that we put onto our holograms. And when we put that together, you get this living essence, and you immediately sense this playful behavior when you see the hologram. Because it's not a computer-generated avatar, you see them pressing up against the boundary between their hidden dimension and our physical world. So when we add this all up, we have a unique Nordic light-inspired particle effect on the holograms combined with volumetric video to deliver the Huldufólk as holograms so they feel embedded in your natural environment and very playful, and you sense this living essence both in the holograms and hopefully in the nature around you. So this is our volumetric capture setup, and we have 3 of these Azure Connect sensors. These are kind of like the Face ID sensors on an iPhone, just bigger. And we have 3 of them, so they cover basically your entire body when we hologram you, except for your back, because we don't need that. And what's unique about our setup here that you'll see with the 3-camera volumetric capture setup is all of our gear fits in these 2 boxes. In fact, it really actually all fits in 1 box. Then we have an extra box for some audio equipment. But this has allowed us to be portable. We're able to fly with this to Iceland. It includes the computer, the sensors, and the audio setup. So we're completely mobile, and that's a huge breakthrough to be able to do that while on the go and whenever we need to make some holograms for our project. It's really exciting. We have two markers. One is for marking the floor. We'll have to do a calibration to that, and then we do a calibration at kind of eye level, so to speak, to make sure that all these cameras are syncing together properly. So imagine what you're seeing here on a flat screen, but there's depth to it. So the video is mapped to the shape of my body, all the way from my left side, all the way around to my right side. So as I move around, and when you see this hologram in 3D, you're seeing a three-dimensional figure. Really just, that's why we call it a hologram. And that's why we're using this system for our project, because we want the Huldufólk, the hidden people, to feel present, that they have volume, you know, that they have a physical presence in your physical dimension. And then all the way over here, right? We just finished calibrating, really good calibration. All of our markers were seen by the cameras, so now we're going to do a test take. Look at that, you can see Carol really well. And for our stuff, we're using special styling, so we're actually more interested in the depth information rather than the video information. Whoop. That's sweet. So the idea is, as if you're walking along your Huldufólk farm, right?
Yeah.
In the field, and we just imagine, like, what would a Huldufólk do? Are they picking up things? Are they, like, do they pick up mushrooms or something as they walk around?
Mm-hmm.
Raka mentioned healing plants, but this is kind of the idea. You walk,
That's what we
this
do.
is your circle,
Yeah.
the area, but you're just kind of walking around either together, maybe you separate a little bit. And it's like, oh, that is Svetby, yo, you go. Yeah, and very good. The movement is very important. Standing still is not very expressive on the holograms, but like something like this, that movement translates really nicely.
Oh, okay.
And even just kind of moving your arms a little bit more than you would normally actually goes a long way. Just kind of like, okay.
Þetta góð sér.
So we have it all in this case. 3 tripods, 1 light stand, audio, 3 hologram sensors, SD cards, boom mic, and boom pole. That's an entire hologram kit in one case. That's how we did it. Oh, and the markers are in there too. Well, I'm back on a journey to Iceland for Huldufólk and holograms.